Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the table. I got more fun electronic board games to play. So, like real board games, not, anything. It's just, it's all set up for me. There's this app called Barrage, and I guess it doesn't show the name Barrage anywhere on the main screen. That is horrible. Horrible design. You know what else is a horrible design? The rulebook is nowhere in the app, but you can go to Board Game Geek and get a free copy of the rulebook there. It's not real hard to find one, but it is very annoying. Also, what's annoying is the music is very repetitive, and I'm just gonna turn it down as little as possible so you can still get a feel for it. It's got, I mean, actually the music is a very bass futuristic. I mean, it's actually not bad. It's just that it's so repetitive, and of course, it's very very loud. Okay, I again do not profess to be good at this game. I really enjoy this game, but I hate the solo bot. The solo bot is just horrible. It's a cheaty McCheaterson cheat fest, and it's just not fun at all to play against. It's on Board Game Arena. If you do play it solo there, you're going to play against the solo bot. The beautiful part about the Steam app is you're playing against real AI, playing the game the real way. So they can't cheat you. I mean, they're, varying level of difficulties or whatever. I have yet to beat it. This is a what we would call a tight game. And I don't mean that in any adult-oriented way. It's a tight game, meaning your decisions are very tight, very impactful, and it can go south quickly. So you have to make really good choices. Your resources are very limited. You have to deliver. Um, I would say that's a big critique of the game. Like if you wanted to be negative, I mean, it's very punishing to new players, and it makes them not enjoy it. To be quite honest, so every time I try to get this game to the table with a new player, they get trounced because they don't know what decisions to make and they make poor ones, and then they're like, "Why is this fun?" And sometimes I wonder that myself. It's fun because the mechanics and the way everything interacts is pretty darn cool. And whoever designed this game was a mad scientist. That's all I have to say. Now, with that said, it is, like I said, a very tight game. I do not guarantee you that I'm good at it. I'm playing medium level difficulty and I have yet to win. I've played a few games. The interface on this, they made some weird choices. I understand them all. They're trying to like fit everything on the screen. But here's a couple of things. The first one is I do have the rulebook up, and this particular page is extremely helpful because you're expected to just know this. And the app has no rulebook attached. It's quite horrible. Um, if anything. Now, the player board looks like this. So see how there's these little bonuses here, and you put your pieces on the board. So if you can imagine the board in front of you, that's what it would look like. And just so you know, I don't actually physically own this particular game. My buddy does. So my regular gaming group, where we go game every week, one of us has this game. So I mean, usually when one of us does, everybody else doesn't buy it. But I consider it, you know, I've played it many times. Let's just put it that way, because we definitely enjoy this game. Um, but anyways, just picture in your mind that this is what the board looks like, because when you get into the app, it doesn't look anything like that. Like all the information is still there, but it doesn't look anything like this. So the other thing is this little table is when you're building these different buildings, which I know they don't look like anything yet, but they cost different. You can see there's two different colored workers. Oh, excuse me. Every time I start recording, I start yawning. Um, so these are your basic buildings you build, and it's very important that you understand the different. Like there's plains, there's hills, and there's mountains, and then there's a different cost for each. Okay, now that you got that out of the way, and I hadn't even showed you the game yet, but now that we got that out of the way, let's show you the game as it exists here. So I'm going to do a new game. The Leewater Project is a expansion. It lets you play up to 5 players, and it also adds a bunch of stuff that just complicates the game even more. Don't do that on your first game. These are CEOs, and you can see there's like Dr. Octavius, Elon Alda, Gennaro Grasso, Amir Zahir, and Franz de Las. I added them. I don't know what they do. There are lots of maps to the expansion. Like the base game comes with this map that you see here. If you want to play the Alps, which is a big 4 to 5 player map, it's a little slightly different, a lot more lakes. You need the Leewater Project, and you can see it automatically turn that on. So you can only play the bigger map if you have the Leewater Project. That is a separate expansion. I think it's like $10 on top of whatever this game costs, which I don't remember how much it costs. I bought it way back when they were in pre-alpha stage to support them because I really like having board game maps like this available in Steam. Anyways, to make the game simpler, I should probably just play with one opponent, but that's boring. Let's do at least a full game, all medium difficulty. And like I said, I lose. I can usually get in the middle though. Like I can beat 1 or 2 of them. I just can't beat all 3. I've never tried the online game. Don't ask me how that works. The custom game, I don't play with that because I just want to play the board game rules. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, so the first thing they want you to do is they want you to choose your faction. And choosing your faction is it's a challenging choice, to be quite honest with you. Now, a couple of things. This guy always seems to win whenever I play against him. I don't know what his special ability is. There we go. See, look, the pop-up is showing up, but it's underneath this pop-up. We'll see it later. Now, when you start the board game, the game is played over rounds. So round 1 is here, round 2, round 3, round 4, and round 5. Actually, round 1 are these 2. I'm sorry. These 2 are round 1. These little tokens, that's round 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a 5-round game. Okay. In the board game, and per the board game rules, these tokens should be visible. Like, I should know what the objectives are for each round, because there's scoring opportunities each round. And it's a lot like Age of Innovation, where you get these random tiles, and there's ways to score each round based on the random tiles. This is very similar, although this one's much more punishing and a lot harder to do. And then there's an overall objective, endgame objective, which this gobbledygook means something. And I have no idea what it means. We got the rule book, so we can go to the rule book and, like I said, the endgame scoring, wherever that is. So let's see. So first game on the Enter scores 6 points. Second scores 2. Gain credits based on your position. And then, yeah, here we go. End of game. So you get 1 point for every water in your dams. I forgot about that. That's good to remember. And yeah, they're not talking about the. There's an end game condition. Bear with me here. Here we go. These objective tiles. They give victory points at the end of the game. So see how there's these different symbols, right? And you can see 15 points for the first player, 10 points for the second, 5 points for the third. And they're different conditions. So which one is in our game? What the heck does that mean? Your guess is as good as mine. It shows all 4 building types. It's got a little circle greater than 1. Okay, so we got greater than 1. It's this one? That's greater than or equal to 1. There's the circle, right? And then all four pieces. So we have all four pieces here as well, greater than 3. Oh my goodness. So it's got to be this one. So it says all the basins where you have built at least one structure piece of any type, the maximum is 12. Next two tiles require you to build in different basins. Count all the basins where you have built the required number of structures. Okay, I get this one. I get it. Now, how was I supposed to know about this? Seeing this nonsense? I wasn't. This is like gobbledygook to me, but I get it. And so having the rulebook with you is going to help you a lot. Alright, why am I going over all this before I pick my person? Well, each of these people have different special abilities. And the player board, which is here, which looks nothing at all like the player board here. So what they did was they took the player board and they turned it 90 degrees. So this goes down. These are vertical instead of horizontal. So if I come back over, see, vertical. And then this will fill in with all the different pieces. The player board itself has bonuses on it. And they're different for each player. And they do matter. They matter so much. So anyways, getting back to this, I'm supposed to know what these are. And the game, I think, has a defect. Or they just made some kind of decision to remove that. Here's where they're showing that if you're furthest on the track. So let me back up. Let me explain a couple more things. We are basically producers of energy. We're going to have basins. You saw on the objective board, it was talking about basins here. The basins are just going to be reservoirs of water. And we're going to be creating hydroelectric energy. So we have to produce buildings, and there's 4 types of buildings. You have a dam, you have an elevation, which just means your dam's taller, and then we have, gosh, what is that? That is a generator, and then you're going to have a powerhouse. So, so the basic gist is the water is going to be stored up at your dam. Otherwise, the water just keeps going, right? You need a dam to store the water. The elevation just lets you store more water. This little generator, or whatever it's called, is going to allow you to grab the water, and then the powerhouse is where you generate the energy. And it'll all make sense once we get to the actual game board. The key thing to understand is as you gain energy, you're going to move up this track. And then at the end of round 1, which is, like I said, the cutoff is here, you can gain 30 energy in round 1 if you want. The point I'm trying to make is round 1 has a goal that's going to be listed here. And in order to get points for that goal, I have to produce at least 6 energy. The first 5 energy is not enough. If I produce 4 energy in round 1, or any round, I'm going to generate 3 money. Money is very tight in this game, so generating money is a good thing. There's a lot of variables going on a particular round. First off, whoever made it the furthest is going to get 6 points. So let's say round 1 ends. Everybody resets back to 0. And then we do round 2, starting at 0 again. So everything resets every round. So in round 2, this is going to be the objective. And this is going to be minus 4 points. And that's minus 4 points if you don't make it into that zone. So as long as you produce enough energy to get into that zone, you save yourself from losing 4 points. But if you want to score these points, you got to get all the way to 12. So every round, the amount of energy you need to earn goes up and up and up. And there is a final round, which has a 30. I'd have to look up. I don't think you need to produce 30. Maybe you do. I don't want to speak out of turn. I like the American. I really actually like this guy too. After you perform a production action, which is produce energy, you get 3 more. That means that if you produce 4 energy here, I'm actually going to get to 7. That's really good. Um, I just don't like the player board you get with him. And then with her, whenever a water drop flows naturally through one of your powerhouses, you just automatically get a free energy. That's also really good. And then you can build your conduits using concrete mixers instead of excavators. That can be really, really good. Um, you have a special action available only to you. If you activate it, you make a production at a fixed amount with value equal to the amount of water drops held by your dams. The water is not consumed. Oh, that's not bad either. So they already chose these two. I'll choose him. Let's go ahead and go with him. And then you have a contract. So this is a contract where I'm committing to generate 4 energy. If I do, I get 2 money, and I get a excavator or what's it called? Concrete mixer. The concrete mixer is the gray one. The excavator is the brown one. It shows it split in half because you get to choose. To be honest, the best contract here is always this one, the one with the wrench. The wrenches are the most valuable thing, in my opinion. Early game. I should clarify that. And this is an early game contract. This one just straight up gets you money. It's real easy to hit, but it's not worth it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this. You always want the bonus. You don't want just money. The bonuses are so much more powerful. Way more powerful. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and pick the Italian guy and this. So it's going to set up a couple things. You can see there's a bunch of things happening. Now this guy's already taken his turn. She already took her turn. So now it's me. You heard the ding ding. I guess I'm second in turn order here. So now we can pause a bit and talk some more. So you can see the tiles have flipped over. So I get 2 victory points for each contract I fulfilled, round 1. But only if I can make it to 6 energy. Okay. Then this one is 4 for each elevation. 4 for each conduit. That's what it's called. It's called a conduit. 4 for each tech that you own. And then this one is 5 for each powerhouse you've built. Now, what does all that mean? It'll become clear as you go. There's a lot going on. They crammed a lot on the screen. This is a complete waste of screen space. This is all just fluff. Ignore this completely. They could have used this space for something else. And then this is also a waste of screen space right here. If you play the expansion, they do fill that space in. It's going to be filled in actually tremendously. But it makes me wonder, like, why couldn't you have used this to do a proper player board? But they did the player board this way. So everything's vertical. Remember, it's horizontal normally. So you have 4 powerhouses you can build. Let's just focus on the powerhouses real quick. I can build 4 of them. The first one, of course, is here. It costs 2 concrete mixers, as you can see. The second one is going to cost 3 concrete mixers because the price goes up by 1 as you go. But if you'll notice, there's a bonus of +1 production. That's what this little symbol is here. Right? And then the third one, I unlock my faction special power, which is I generate 3 energy. So that thing where I get to generate 3 energy, it's not active. I have to build 1, 2, 3 powerhouses before I can activate that special thing. You can play the whole game and not activate 3 powerhouses. I'm just telling you right now, this is extremely difficult to meet. So this first round, we're not going to have this bonus. So sometimes you think, okay, well, I'm choosing this guy because I'm going to get this really cool bonus where I generate 3 extra energy. That's a bunch of poppycock. Because you don't actually produce 3 extra energy. You don't produce 3 extra energy until you can put 3 powerhouses on the board. This requires 2 concrete mixers. You only have 4. This requires 3. You only have 4. And they don't disappear, per se, forever. But what they do is they go on this wheel. So when I produce, let's say, my first powerhouse, it's going to go on the wheel. The powerhouse, or the concrete mixers will go on the wheel with it. And then you rotate the wheel, and then it's going to be here. So that's where the wrenches come in. Remember I told you the wrenches are really valuable? If you get a wrench, that rotates the wheel by 1 space. If you get 2 wrenches, you get to rotate it again, and so forth. So you want the wheel to constantly be rotating. Until this thing rotates all the way around and ends up at the top again, these concrete mixers are consumed. So I'm going to spend 2 concrete mixers. I have to rotate the wheel all the way around before I get those 2 concrete mixers back. So you might think, oh, it'd be easy. You just spend 2 and then 3 and then 4. No, because you spend 2, then you got to wait, because I'm only going to have 2 left. Now I can spend 3, wait, and then I can spend 4, and then and only then do I finally unlock my ability. That's how ridiculous this game is. And it's funny because I love this game, and I'm basically trying to convince you why you should hate it. But it's true. I can't like deny it. It is the most ridiculous thing. You have a faction power that doesn't exist until something that may not happen until the very last round of the game. Or it may just never happen at all. So that's problem number 1. And then here's the little special action that he has. I didn't even realize he had an action. That's really cool. I'm glad I figured that out. Okay, now this stuff that you see is true with all of these building types. So if I ever get the last one out, I get 2 production bonus. Now you might say to yourself, Jeff, well, can you just jump straight to this one? No, you have to build them in order. That's the first problem. And as you can see, the first building of each type gives you no bonus. Okay, but can I increase these? Yes, you can. For the extremely high cost of 4 coins, I can get 1 brown or 1 gray. I can get 1 excavator or 1 concrete mixer. And for the even higher cost of 5 coins, I can get 1 of each. But it cost me 2 workers, and guess what the first guy did? That action's already been taken. So that's the other thing, is this is first come, first serve. So I can still do the action, but now I have to spend 3 engineers. By the way, I have 12 engineers. Now, how does a round work? I spend my engineers. I take my turn. I'm going to spend a certain number of engineers, and we keep taking turns until we pass. And you're going to end up passing because you're out of engineers. There's nothing left for you to do. So she spent 2 of her 12 engineers to do this action, and she spent 5 of her money. She's down to just 1. So she blew everything she had so she can get 1 extra of these. That's what I'm telling you. This is a tight game. It's a ridiculous game. Now, I could spend 3 engineers to do the same action. But see that red line around it? That red line means I'm going to have to pay a penalty of 3 gold. So I have to spend 5 for the action, and then 3 more. That's 8. I don't even have enough credits to do that action. So I can't even do it if I wanted to right now. Okay. But this is where some of this comes in handy. So if you look over here at the elevation, if I can get 2 elevations out there, I can get a wrench. And then these things that you see here, the production bonus, well, that's when I do production, I get a bonus. This here is I gain 1 machinery, right? That's I gain 1 wrench. This is I gain 3 money. And then down here you can see there's points to be gained. And then this is just 4 energy. I just get a free bump of 4 on the energy track. This is 3 money and 2 points. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's pretty cool. So when you build those buildings, you get those bonuses. That is true. But here's the thing. You get those bonuses every round. It's income. It's not just, I mean, you do get it immediately. So you get it immediately when you achieve it, and then you get it as income at the beginning of every round after. So if I could somehow miraculously get this wrench going in the first round, it's really hard, but let's say I did, then this little line here with the exclamation, that's my income. These are your bonuses that you've unlocked. So it'll show up here. So when the round starts like it just did, these bonuses will then trigger. So let's say I had this bonus and this bonus. That means I also had this one. what would happen is I would get $6 just automatically added. I would get 2 victory points automatically added, and then I would get a machinery, and it would actually let me choose, and I could get +1 of this or +1 of that. So that's what I mean by these are things that are really nice to unlock. It's just that they're hard to unlock because each of these things costs something. So now you might be wondering, well, okay, we know this costs concrete mixers. This one is 2 excavators per level. We'll talk about what level means in a second. This one, the cost is on the map, and you can see the map updated with 4, 3, and 2. Now, what does that mean? Well, it's pretty easy when you look at the map. The map has like this snow up here. That's considered the mountains, and then this is considered the hills. And then down here where you see the green, that's considered the low level. Then if you go to that's what the plains, the hills, and the mountains. And you can see the cost here. This is a nice little table. Powerhouse, the cost just increases the more you build. Conduit is 2 times the value of the level, and we'll talk about that level, what that means. The base, which is your dam, is 3, 4, or 5 depending on which area you're in. And then the elevation is 2, 3, or 4 also based on what level you're in. Okay, so so again, if I hover over, you can see it's 4, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, and they show the colors really clear. Okay, so I meant to. So yeah, how do you make energy in this game? There are 3 dams currently in the game, and they're all on the right side. This is random, by the way. So it's just by random luck that all 3 of them are on the right side. So I'm trying to think, like, what's the right order to explain things. Let's talk about the 4 lakes at the top. This is our sources of water. This is what we call headwaters. What this is trying to say is there's 2 water that's going to come next round. At the next round, these 2 waters will release and flow down the pathway. Okay? Now, you can see there's a 0 up here. If you hover over it, it shows you that in round 1, there's 2. In round 2, there will be 0 water. In round 3, there will be 2 more. And in round 4, there'll be 0. There is none for round 5 because round 5 is the final round. And because remember, the water just sits here and then it releases at the end of the round. So when this is saying that round 4 produces 0 water, that means when round 5 starts, there won't be any. 1 second. Okay, it's usually when I take breaks like this that all my audio fails, so I'm checking, and it looks like it's working. All right. So we were talking about how the water generates, and it's different. These are random as well, by the way. There's these little tiles in the game that you put. And so this one produced 0 water on round 1. And you can see on 2 and 3, it'll put 2 water there, and then on round 4, it's 0. Now, it does matter for planning purposes. Because, as you can see, starting with the left one, the water is going to flow straight down and then exit out the bottom. And then round 2, or I'm sorry, not round 2, the second headwater is going to go straight down and exit at the middle. Now, these 2 are interesting. They both go straight down, but then they all merge and then come out here. So, arguably, the right side is more valuable than the left. Arguably. That doesn't mean it is more valuable. It could be. Why? Because more water is going to come down both of these sides. But it's not as easy as you think. And also, these neutral dams were already built. That comes into factor as well. Okay. To produce energy, you can see that there's water drops here, here, and here. The water drops will flow all the way to the bottom of the screen and exit, unless a dam is there to stop it. That's cardinal rule number 1. So if I had water over here on these sides, they would just flow straight through and exit the game and nothing would happen. So cardinal rule 1, you need a dam. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. To produce energy, it has to be your dam or a neutral dam. So if the dam belongs to another player, you can't produce energy from water at that dam. Just not allowed. So that's problem number one. Okay. So the neutral dam, though, anybody can produce energy from a neutral dam. What else do you need? Well, you need a conduit, which is what these little things are, see? And that's this. So what the conduit does is that sucks the water in, and then it goes along the little tube, and then you need a powerhouse in one of these locations. And remember, the red circle thing is a 3-coin penalty. So there's only one free space to build. The other 3 cost an extra 3 coins. And the game knows that. This is the more coveted side, so it's more expensive to build over there. Okay, you got that going on. Okay, one more thing, and the color coding is helpful. The green lines are 2. See the little 2 that's popping up? The yellow lines are 3. The orange lines are 4, and the red lines are 5. Okay, so what is that? That's what we call, that's what is referring to as the level. So remember, the cost for this is 2 per level. So if I'm building a green one, it's going to cost 4. A red one, which is level 5, is going to cost 10. Okay, but here's the thing, that 5 and that 2 is the amount of energy that gets produced per water. So this is a level 3 dam. We could have 3 water here. If I have an excavator here, it produces 1 energy. If I have 3 water here, I would produce 3 energy from that water. Okay? This is a level 2. So if I had 3 water here, I would produce 6 energy. 2 times 3. Okay? Now, the more valuable energy comes from over here. So that's a level 3. So even though this is the coveted one, it's the cheapest energy. Now, you can see that the lines are crisscrossing. So this powerhouse is sucking water from over here. So even though more water tends to go to this dam, you're the better energy production is actually from over here. If I produce 1 here, I'm only going to get 1 per water, whereas if I'm over here, I get 2 per water. So it's much more valuable. Now obviously if I had a dam here, I would get 3 per water if I go this way. And then of course this is only 1 again. And then if I had a dam here, you could see this one gets me 3 per water. But look at this. This one sucks the water upstream and dumps it out here. So those water droplets will go along the lines. So if the water was sitting here at this dam and I produced it, it would suck up to here and then it would drop into this lake and get stopped at this dam. And then that water could be used again to either go over here, or like I said, if there was no dam here, it would actually drop down into this and then stop at that dam. So I hope that makes sense. So as much as I told you, the water on these 2 sides both merge, so there's a high likelihood that more water is going to go over here. That's not always true, because this water, right, is going to get sucked and go over to here. Well, that's still the same. But this water could get sucked over here and then end up in the middle. And so forth. So here, I could suck water from this lake over, and now it's ending up over here. Okay? So that's the idea. The most valuable energy are the red lines. But let me tell you something. That costs 10 excavators. See that number 10? I only have 6 to start the game. So I would have to figure out how to produce 4 more before I could even produce that. Okay, so it's a very expensive thing. You're not going to be able to do that in the early game. So in the early game, what can you do? And so now that you know you need a powerhouse, you need a conduit, you need an excavator. Next thing to understand is, like I said, the dam needs to either be yours or neutral. The conduit can belong to any player. So this thing can belong to any player. The powerhouse has to be yours. Okay? So at minimum, you need a powerhouse. That's yours. You have to produce a powerhouse. You can use a neutral dam, and as long as some player produces a conduit, you could use that instead of your own. Okay, so that's the bare minimum you need to produce energy. Now, the problem with another player producing the conduit, if you use theirs, they get money for it, and they score points. So you're helping them to get money and points. And I can't remember if it's your money that you give them. I don't think it is. But you're giving them money and points. And if you have your own, then obviously you could use your own to just maximize your profits. It does not increase your energy produced. Bear that in mind. Okay. So this would cost 2 excavators because this is level 1. That costs 4 excavators. Remember, you only have 6. So at the start of the game, you could produce a level 3 conduit. But you need a dam, which, look at this, that also costs 3 excavators. And the dams, remember, the cost is based on where they're located. So, the neutral dam is a real good thing to take advantage of. The problem is any player can take from a pond that has a neutral dam. So if I have this here and somebody else has that there, it's a race on who does the action first. So that can be troublesome. If you build your own dam, then the water that's here that's blocked up by your dam, that's yours. That's yours to do something with. So that's a really critically important thing to understand. Now, there's some goofy things like this conduit works against this dam and that dam. You'll see that it'll actually be connected to both. Because you might be wondering, okay, if I build this dam here and the water is stored up here, where's the conduits? Well, the conduits are actually down below it. These 2 conduits are connected to that dam and this dam. So water that's sitting here will belong to the player who controls that dam, and water that's sitting here will belong to the player that controls that dam. Either conduit can pull from either one. Now, like I said, the water belongs to that person. So if this conduit belongs to someone else, it can't pull the water. Only your conduit can pull that water. That's what I mean by it belongs to you. I know it's confusing. Now, the neutral one, like I said, either conduit can produce from that. So early game, one of the things you can capitalize on is taking advantage of the dams that are neutral, because that saves you from having to build a dam. Then you could focus on just generating energy and getting a conduit and a powerhouse out, and then you're up and going. In fact, you don't even need to build the conduit if somebody else does it. But like I said, it's ideal if you do both. Now, here's the problem. As you can tell, this is where most of the water is allegedly going to go. But this is the lowest production of them all. You get the most production from the left one. Well, you can. There's 5, and then there's a 3, right? So if you could build a dam here, I mean, that's 6. That's 9 excavators. You can't do it. Now, if you wanted to cooperate with someone else, you can get your little powerhouse. You can build your dam. The problem is they're not going to build a conduit for you. I mean, they could try, but all that's going to happen is that's your water, and only you can. It's not worth it for them to build that conduit. Now, you're very limited then, because remember, if I spend 6 excavators to put that conduit there, and the reason this is highlighting is because these tiles have to be spent. So once I build an excavator, that tile goes up on here along with the 6 excavators. And so the action itself is not even available until you go all the way around. So even if I wanted to build another conduit, because I have more excavators, I can't. The action tile is gone. Now there's some things I still haven't shown you yet, but I'm just trying to help you to understand the basics. Alright. So this is where it would help, like, if you were able to ask me questions, because I think I'm very slowly trying to explain how the mechanics work. but maybe somebody would like raise their hand and say, well, what about this? Okay, I have not talked about any of the actions yet, or any of this stuff. It's coming. I just want you to understand the basics of how to produce energy. And I also want you to understand the limitations you have. You only have 6 excavators, and you only have the ability to build one of each type until the wheel spins. Okay, so with only 6 excavators, if I were to blow all 6 on this conduit, the water has no dam, so the water would just flow through. You're not going to make any energy. If I build the excavators and then another player builds the dam, my conduit can't suck the water out of there because that dam belongs to someone else. This would be the biggest waste of money ever. Now, what could happen is they'll use my excavator to feed their powerhouse, so we'll get a little bit of money and energy for them using our conduit, but that's really not a good strategy. So you want the ability to truly produce energy. That's where this comes in. Like I said, the neutral dam, you can take advantage of it. This one, you can build a conduit really cheap, just 2 excavators. And then you can build this for 2 concrete mixers. Oop, I don't want to do the action yet. So you could do 2 and 2, right? That's 2 production actions. And then you can actually generate energy with that water straight to your powerhouse. You're ready to go. And every time water flows down, 3 water drops will store here because this is a level 3 dam. It works. Like I said, the drawback to it is somebody else is going to put an conduit here and a powerhouse over there, and they're trying to do the same thing, and then you and them are both battling for the same energy. Okay, how do you counter that? Well, the way you counter it is you build your own dam up here. So now when the water comes in, it stops at your dam, and only if it overflows your dam does it actually go to this one. And that is true. Like if another droplet of water came down, this is a level 1 dam, 2 water droplets would appear, so one of them would leak. This is a level 2 dam, so both water droplets would stop here. So 1 water droplet would sneak past this one and stop there. And then if I did another one after that, it would get past both of these and then stop there. And then if I had 3 water droplets here, a 4th one would just leak off the board. Okay. Again, this one is 3 and 3 credits. You could theoretically do it. You could be a mastermind and, get all this stuff in place and build a dam up here. So now the water stops at your dam before it gets to the neutral one. So that guy with his conduit down here is not as effective at what he needs to do. That's 3 excavators, that's 4, that's 7. So he couldn't do it anyways. Only this person could build both in the same round. Unless you get more excavators, of course, like this guy just did. See, she's up to 7. Alright. How much do you want to obsess over that? How much do you want to do that? This is where your choices come in. Taking advantage of this gets you early energy in the game, or you could just focus elsewhere and try to build there. There's pros and cons to each. Now, why would you want to start getting energy right away? Well, as you can see here, you're going to lose 3 money. I'm sorry, you're going to lose 3 points if you don't produce any energy at all. Now, if you don't produce any energy at all, you do get 3 money. It's sort of like a consolation prize. So you always get 3 money, but you're going to lose 3 points. If you produce at least 1 energy, you're going to get 1 money, and that's in addition to the 3, so you're actually going to get 4 money. This is cumulative, or I think it is. No, it's not cumulative. You're going to get 1 money, you're just not going to lose 3 points, I think is what that's saying. So if you produce 4 energy, that's when you get the 3 money and you break even. You're making just as much money as if you produce 0, you're just not losing 3 points. If you get to 6, you're still only making 3 money. And this is income at the start of the round. So whenever the round ends, this is just sort of income you get. If you get to 7, you'll make 4 money. If you get to 11, you'll make 5, and so forth. This 2-point evaluation, that occurs as long as you're anywhere within the band of 6 through, well, forever. As long as you're beyond 6, this happens. As long as you're beyond 12, this happens, but only in round 2. This does not happen in round 1. At least I don't think it does. Okay? So that's one thing to understand. So there's money to be made by generating energy. The other reason you want to generate energy is energy lets you fulfill these contracts. So as long as I generate 4 energy, I get 2 bonus money, and I produce some machinery, which will help me with the rest of my stuff. Okay? I'm going to start with the right side here. There's a contracts office, and these are contracts that you can get. And all you have to do, this is the number of engineers you have to spend of the 12. So for 1 engineer, I can come over here and grab a contract. These are like mega contracts, so I can grab those as well. It's just they're really hard to hit. In the early game, you're only going to be able to get these ones. And even this one's going to be really hard. I mean, I'm not going to be able... And so the amount of energy that's listed here has to be produced in 1 production action. So remember this, if we had 3 water droplets here, this produces 1 energy per droplet. I'm going to produce 3 energy with 3 droplets. That would fulfill this contract or this one. I can't fulfill any of these 4. I can't even fulfill this one. Okay? Now there is a caveat. The energy production action is here. On the left side, this is the number of engineers it costs. This is extra engineers to do the same action, but remember you have to pay 3 coins. But see, this has a production of +2. So whoever goes here and uses this action, those 3 water droplets would produce 3 energy, right? But this +2 would turn it into 5 energy. So now I'm making 5 energy. Well, okay, I was able to fulfill my contract then. So I only needed this one, the +1, to fulfill this contract. The +0 one, I can't. And this is first come, first serve. These just fill up. As somebody uses them, they're gone for the round. And then, yes, you're reading it correctly. There's a -1 and -2 as well. This is where you want to produce energy even with a penalty just because you're desperate. Okay, so contracts. Here you could spend 2 workers or engineers and a gold, and you can grab 2 contracts. So it's a little more action efficiency going on. The patent office. Remember how I told you have 4 actions? These are bonus action tiles that you can buy for 5 gold. Very expensive, but these bonus action tiles go into your pool, and now they're extra actions you have. And they all have special powers. Like this one says you build a dam, just like you would with this action, right? But when you use this tech, you get to place a water drop in all your empty dams. So you get bonus water every time you build a dam using that action. That's a pretty cool one. This one, you build a conduit and you get credits equal to 2 times the level of the conduit. So you make money, which money's very tight in this game, so this is a really good one. This one, you can build any kind of building, so it's a wild card. And when you use this tech, you can build any structure you want, and you don't pay the 3 credits. So these little red lines here, see how it says there's 3 credits and 4 excavators? This one lets you avoid the 3 credits. You don't have to pay those. Okay? So, on your turn, you get to do 1 action. So I can spend 1 engineer here, grab a contractor, 2, etc. I can get an action. I don't actually execute the action. I just get the tile, and now it's in my list of available actions here. I can produce, right? I can build a powerhouse, for example, here, or a conduit. And you can see that it's highlighting different things. The cost to do that is, as you can see here, it's 2 concrete mixers, but it's also an engineer for my first building I produce this round. So then it goes up on the wheel. If I produce a second building this round, I now have to pay 2 engineers, and then 3, and then 3 with a penalty. So after I've built 4 of these buildings, doesn't matter which ones or which tiles I use, After I produce 4, I can't produce anymore for the rest of the round, even if I had the engineers. And now I have 12 total engineers. This would be 3, 6, 7, 8. That would be 9 of the 12 to do all 4 of these. Really hard to do. Really hard to do. Okay. Now going over here, starting from, we already explained this one. Water management is, I'm going to take 2 water and just put it in the headway. They're not going to drop. They'll drop at the beginning of the next round, but I'm seeding the water up here. Now this one, it's sort of hard to see, but there's a little arrow. That's dropping 1 water. So I can pick any of these 4 and I immediately drop a water and it'll trickle through, and hopefully you have a dam to catch it, or otherwise that's a wasted action. The bank is pretty simple. Every worker or engineer I put at the bank, I gain $1. It's your pass action, basically. But if I need, $2 more so I can buy something, I can put 2 engineers here. It costs me a whole turn, but like I said, you keep going infinite turns until you pass. The workshop is straightforward. Now that you understand everything, these wrenches is a turn of the dial. 1 wrench is 1 rotation. 3 wrenches would be 1, 2, 3. So this would then be down here after you did this. Very pricey. But I'm telling you, it's a very important action. And in the machinery shop, you can see this is how you can get extra excavators and concrete mixers. And you can see that the AI just went straight for that. Turn 1. So I have a great opportunity to try to claim a basin that I think is going to be valuable to me. And this is where it gets a little tough. And I think I sort of want to put a powerhouse on the left side here, not here. Well, okay, let me back up. If I put 1 here, this is going to be too cheap. It's not going to get me enough energy points to be like at 3 energy a pop. If I had 3 water droplets, I'm not even going to get out of the first bar. Now, the reason you want to build here is this one's really lucrative, right? That's 3. And this one is very lucrative at 5. So if I had 3 water droplets up here, I would be getting 15 energy down here. But let me back up again and explain another problem. These neutral dams can't be enhanced. So at most, this is ever going to have just 1 droplet. That's it. So I can never enhance this. The only way I can improve this is I would have to build a dam up here of my own. And then I would store the droplets up here based on whatever level my dam is. And then my excavator can, or conduit can take it out. But if you're doing the math real quick, I need 10 excavators to do this. I need 5 excavators to do that. I only have 6. This is not an early game strategy. Just to warn you. And neither is this really, to be honest. I mean, that's 6. That would blow everything I have, right? I do that. I could do that. I have a level 2 dam. It would work. I could build this and this, right? Use the level 2 dam, and then, suck everything out of here if I can. And, possibly even do something here. I could build another conduit here if somebody wants to dam up this, and then pull from the left side, and then this one little powerhouse can do a lot. That's not a horrible strategy. It would work. The perfect situation is you want your own dam. And why do you want your own dam? Well, because like I told you, as you build these buildings, you unlock cash and prizes. So if you get a level 1 dam, obviously that doesn't get you anything, but then you put 3 elevations on it, right? 1, 2, and 3. Or I think you actually only do, it's the base dam and then 2 elevations. So I can only do 2 elevations per base. Well, then I got a free wrench every round. The problem is it's so expensive. You can see, like, you're going to spend all those construction. You're not going to do all this in one round. All right, so I'm going to do something because I really like this tech. So I'm going to buy this tech. I'm going to spend 5 coins for it. And I apologize. the sound in this. We're just gonna turn that down a bit. All right, and that's all I get to do. I just bought the tech, and that's it. So now they're gonna go, and you can see he's building. He built a powerhouse all the way up here. And he built the powerhouse down here that we were hoping to build. And they built a powerhouse there. Okay, so this changes things. One thing to understand is this powerhouse here means that he wants to suck water out of this zone. And when he does, the water is going to go this way, and it's going to drop here. So this dam is going to be valuable. Or this dam if somebody does that one. So our strategy was actually looking really good. I wanted to put this here, and then put this down here. The problem is he built his powerhouse. So if I want to do a powerhouse, I have to spend 3 credits. I don't have 3 credits. But I still think we're going to be okay. And here's why. I bought this special tech. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And I'm going to click on my special tech. Not on this one. I'm going to do the special tech. And it's going to generate 6 money for me. So that's what I'm going to do. You can see I got my first conduit, and now I'm up to $7. So now the pink guy just built a conduit up there. Okay, that's interesting. So what he did, we'll let everybody go. Alright. So the gray player, I don't remember what they, oh, all the actions are here. Trying to decipher this would be a bit crazy. But here's what happened. The pink player built a powerhouse here, and then put the conduit up here instead of down here. So what he's doing is he's taking advantage of level 1 dam. He's going to pull that and get 3 energy for pulling it to here, and then it's going to drop into that lake and then end up in this dam where we have our conduit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a powerhouse. I have to pay a 3 coin penalty because he's there, but that's okay. I'm going to do that. And then it's going to rotate the wheel again. So we at least got our powerhouse in place. So pink just paid to rotate the wheel 3 times. And this guy chose to generate energy and using my conduit. So what happened is I ended up getting points and money because he used my conduit to generate his powerhouse. So it sort of sucks because I wanted to use my own conduit, but that's the problem with having a dam like this. Because, like I said, anybody could use that dam. So he used my conduit, whereas if that was my dam, he couldn't do that. So that's the drawback, and you just have to live with it. I could build another conduit here, of course, but I don't have the excavators. And it's a little bit of a chump move that he did, but what I could do is push another water down into our dam. Now, all that means is this jerk could steal my water again and run the energy. And he could just keep doing that over and over again. It is possible that he might end up doing that to me. Then I have this special action. I can make a production at a fixed amount with a value equal to the amount of water drops held by my dams. I don't have any dams. That's the problem. So my special action is more valuable if I had my own dams. The problem with building my own dam, as you could guess, is it requires more excavators, which I don't have. So that's the problem. I blew all my excavators here. So I think a couple of things. I could take the workshop action to rotate because I need to get my workers back. I could try to buy more workers the hard way. Both of those aren't bad, but I'm going to actually do the water droplet, and we're going to put one here. And I did the down arrow, so it's going to go right away. You're going to see it went and dropped there. It skipped this one because that one's full. But like I said, I made it. Oh, and look, he's doing one. So now we got 2 water. This guy's going to steal the action again. That jerk. Yep, he just did. Look at this. And I got 2 money and 2 points, but he stole the action again. And fulfilled his contract. So all I did was feed the bear. And, I mean, it's nice to get the money, but, well, since I got all the bonus money, I'm going to do this for sure. And he just did one to get his guys back. He's building a dam, and let me I bet you anyone, like right there. So what he just did is he built his own dam, so he'll have his own water up here, and he'll use my conduit every time to produce energy. It's frustrating, but that's what you get for using the neutral dam. Now, what can I do? Well, if I can build something else here, I can, try to use the water that's down here. But, I made my bed. So what costs concrete mixers? See, that costs 3 concrete mixers. I only have 2. I could spend 4 money. That's a lot of my money. I sort of like this one because I could build a dam, and then a water gets placed on my dam, and that also helps me with my ability over here. This is going to cost me 3 money, but if I put a dam there, then all the water as it flows down will stop here. But bear in mind that this conduit is skipping this dam, and it's going down to here and then exiting the board. So every time we run this one, we're causing the water to exit the board. It's never getting to this dam down here. Also, by building this dam, I don't have any conduits. There's a lot of problems, but I could try to build a dam earlier. Oh man, this is just so... This game is so punishing. I went through all this explanation, and my plan is being thwarted because the jerk is just doing stuff. This is the smart person, because look what he did. He built his own dam, he built his own conduit, and he's going to have his own little peaceful community over here. Oh. Yeah, I need 1 more concrete mixer. I can build another powerhouse. That gives me a production bonus of +1 if I ever were to produce something. If I could build another conduit, see, look, I get an income. I can buy it. I can get that extra machinery. I could spend money to rotate the wheel again and get guys back. I have 4 engineers left, and I have nothing to do with them. I really hosed myself. I'm sitting here with 0 energy produced, and there's nothing I can do. I'm a little angry about this. Now I'm going to have to do this. That's going to cost me 5 money. Yeah. That didn't even get me what I needed. So here you can see that he put 2 water up there. Now what I could have done is, like, I only have 1 engineer left. I can just grab a contract. right? It doesn't hurt to have more than one contract to choose from. You can only fulfill one at a time. Um, and see, I can't do this because that would cost me 3 engineers. I've already spent 2. So it would cost me 3. I only have 1 engineer left. So that, or I could just go to here to the bank and take 1 money. But I actually like the idea. Let's grab a contract. This one that gives me 2 wrenches. It's really cheap, but I like it. This one gives me an elevation for free. I also think that one could be good. That one gives me 3. Like, you can see there's a lot of good options here. I'm going to take the one that gives me the wrench, though. And I'm going to lose 3 points. I produced 0 energy this round. I'm sitting here telling you about all the strategy, and I am blowing chunks. I am playing the worst game right now. Okay, so the round ended. So the water's coming down. Only one of it got captured. Here, this 2 water's going to come down, and we're going to catch those. Then here, 3 water's going to come. So 1's going to stop, and then 2, 3. And so here it's showing I'm going to lose 3 points, because like I told you, I produce 0 energy. I'm this one. I'm going to get the 3 money, though. This one's going to get 5 money. And I always told you, this guy always does the best. So, that was a horrible round. Now, you can see he got 4 extra points. That's because this little tile here triggered for him. And I didn't make it to 6. And now you can see the tile flipped over. So now it's minus 4 points. Unless I get to 6 to 11. I'm going first because I played miserably. And as you can see, I could try to generate energy here, but I don't have any producers. There needs to be a conduit there. I can produce this one. So I could do that right away. That would get me 3 energy. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I could get 2 more energy here for 5. So that would get me to right here. I'd be able to hand in one of my contracts. So I think I'm going to... I wish I had that 1 more water, but this is what the jerk did. See? Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it before the jerk does. So I'm going to do this, and I can fulfill either one. I don't need the 2 wrenches. So I'm going to do this one. And I'm going to generate, as it shows, 5 energy. It's going to produce 1 water for 3 energy, and I get the plus 2. And you can see it's coming down there. And boom, I got myself 5 energy, got some extra stuff, and now I get to choose which type of worker I want. And I want that one. I need both, but that one I need right now. And you can see that the production is something that they take up quick. Like 2 of the production actions are already gone. This person is seeding some water. I don't know why they did that, because now the water's just going to drain away. Right, so there's another dam built. So like this water's getting stingier and stingier over here. But, and there's an opportunity here, but you got to build a conduit. I don't know if I want to. I mean, that's just a cheap conduit. I want to go here and build this conduit. And then that way it's 3 energy. You know, am I going to ever get any water? Well, there's 2 dropping right here. So yeah, I want to do this for 3. There you go. I got some stuff back. So they're doing some wrenches. There's some more production from pink. You can see the droplets are going down. And then this guy, he's going to produce using my conduit. He's doing that to steal the opportunity from me, which is fine. Because I'm going to go here and do... Oh no! I need 6! I put... Oh no! Let's get an elevation in. The good news is if you produce something, it creates... makes the wheel spin. And I should have enough to build a powerhouse somewhere. So he just took 2 contracts. I'm going to keep producing. Now, where do I want to put a powerhouse? I was thinking of putting one here so I could take from his... Well, I can't take from his dam. That would be a bad choice. I could also take from here, but then I need another dam. I could do this one, and I can take from that dam. So that way I could go to here or here. I mean, it's not the most exciting thing. But part of the reason I want to build another powerhouse is just to unlock another bonus. Excuse me. Let's do it. And you want to just produce a lot. By producing that powerhouse, I unlocked another bonus, right? I have a +1 production bonus now. I am 1 away from unlocking my faction power. But look at this. I was able to spin the wheel without having to pay to spin the wheel. And I do need to produce some energy here. Yeah, see, I'm getting points and money when he does this, but that's not the most beneficial here. Alright. I could do this. And here you can see I'm now getting a worker. We're going to grab one of those. And you can see they've taken all the production. Alright, if I understand the rules correctly, and I'm a little rusty, I think that as long as I produce 1 more energy, I'm going to be in this zone. And that means I won't get the... I'm not going to get the -3 because I have more than 0. I won't get the -4 because I'm at least in this zone. I just have to get to 12 if I want to score these points. So I don't get to score these points unless I get to 12. By getting to 6, I at least avoid losing those points. That's how I think it works. We'll know when the round ends. So I can produce. The problem is I have 1 worker, and nothing costs 1 worker. So I can't produce. I sort of hosed myself again. I can try to generate 1 money, but I don't want to. So I think I'm going to go and grab another contract. And I like the idea of getting a free building. So let's do that one. If you're playing against the bot, they do Cheaty McCheaterson all the time. And this guy, he's just constantly using my conduits and paying me. Ugh. You're not going to win the game by having somebody use your conduit all the time. But this is the lesson learned. Building on neutral is just a dangerous game. This guy, for all it's worth, is producing his own stuff. And then I at least have a dam. And there I am. I'm losing miserably. I'm dead last. But see, I got no penalty. Because, or no, hold on. Why am I not getting -4? I only produce 5 energy. I don't understand what happened there. This person's getting 4 points. Like, they're actually getting 4 points. I mean, I avoided the penalty, as you can see. I don't know why they're getting -4 and I'm not. This makes no sense. So when a round ends, so obviously I become the first player because I produce the least amount of energy. One of them got 6 points for being first on the track. That's part of it. That would be... Oh no, 2 players produced 8. So they don't get 6 points. What happens when you're tied? Oh, that's how they get the 4 points. Because it's split. 6 for the first player, 2 for the second. That's 8. So it's 4 points each. Then you gain credits equal to your position. That's what this is. So they're getting 4 credits because they're past the 7. And I'm getting 3 credits because I only got past the 4. So this here is because they were tied for first. That's what this means. This is first. So they divided 8 points between them. This person got 4. Yeah, I can only assume for the objective, but that makes no sense. Because, like I said, you had to beat it to 12 to qualify for this. So let me make sure I'm not getting that wrong. Oh, full reward if your energy marker is in this section. Reduced reward if your energy marker is in a previous section. That's where you get the 4 victory point penalty. It's reduced. Okay, that's where it's making sense. So what that's saying is you get 4 points for each elevation you've built. Right? This person is the only person who built an elevation. However, since they didn't get there, it's a reduced penalty of 4. So basically they got 0. And this one, it's a reduced penalty, but it's not... Okay, this is 4 points less than whatever this is, which is a net of 0. So this does not hurt the players. It just hurts them. Like, this person has an elevation, right? So they're getting 4 points for their elevation, but that penalty is reducing it to 0. So all of us got 0. That's what that's saying. These two got 4 points for being furthest on the track. All right, I'm finally understanding. So we get our money. No, this person's got 4 points, and then that person has 4 points. I mean, we're not losing by a lot, although I would tell you we're losing. And we're already in round 3. So now you can see there's 2 -4s now. And I'm going to choose a brown worker. I go first, which sounds great, but it's not. I need 6 excavators to do that one. I have no water in any of my spots. I can get 3 more excavators if I can rotate the wheel twice. So unfortunately, I would like to produce energy because right now going first is the best opportunity, but I can't. So I'm going to go ahead and spin the wheel twice. Now I got my 6 excavators. But by the time it's my turn again, they will have produced energy and all these will be gone. Well, actually, I got lucky. I still can't produce energy, but I could now get an excavator in place. This would have been nice to have that tile. but I'll do the basic one. And then the excavator is going to unlock so now the first production happened. And they produced 6 production with just 1 itty bitty water. Alright, they did a bunch of wrenches, grabbed a contract. There's the next production. I want to produce as much as possible. This is a neutral. I'm going to do 3 workers and pay the money penalty because I want to get both of these to here. And then which one do I want to do? Do I want to turn the wheel twice, which would unlock a bunch of stuff? Or do I want the free elevation? That's a really hard decision. They're both good. I'm going to take the elevation though. You can see I'm up to 9. And I want to put it here. So by doing the elevation, see that gave me a free wrench. So I got to rotate it once anyways. And now at the beginning of every round, I'm going to get a free wrench. Also, I mean, that was the nice thing. It was free to build. It unlocked things. If I can get one more powerhouse out there, I get a bonus of 3 energy every time I produce power. And then this, remember, I get production at a fixed amount equal to the amount of water held by my dams. I don't have any water held by my dams, but that's still a good thing to remember. See, now he just put 2 water. And then, look at that. They're overloading the water big time up there. Okay, it's back to us. I want to build another powerhouse, if I can. Yes, I can. It almost doesn't even matter where I build it, because I'm just trying to unlock the bonus more than I care about where it is. But you should at least try to build one somewhere where it's going to benefit you a little. This is my dam. It doesn't benefit me to go here. I just get more money or energy if I go to this one. I could go here, for example. But see, this is his dam, so I'd have to build that dam up there. I mean, it's doable. It's just a lot of work. Or I could keep trying to take advantage of... Like, if I want to just keep damming the water and taking advantage of it here. Or more ideally, I want to suck water from somewhere else into my dam. So that way I could get the energy twice. So like this one here, I can suck water from over here and suck water from over here into my dam down here. That's the way you got to think. Yeah, I like that. And see, I can afford it. So that's 4 concrete mixers. And then I just unlocked 2 more of those. And most importantly, my faction power. So now I produce 3 extra energy. Anytime I produce energy. So I just need water now. And look at what that jerk did. He just built a dam above me. And then they produced... Okay, I have 4 engineers left. They produced a dam above me. I can build a powerhouse and I can perform a production action with a +2. That's sort of nice. This one is pretty cool. It lets me use these interchangeably. Here, I have the money. I could feed water down. It'll stop at his dam. He can't do anything with it. He has a dam there, but he doesn't have a powerhouse or anything to suck. And if anything, I have a powerhouse here, so I could build that there and take the water away from his. Well, no. I'd have to build my own dam, so never mind. But I hope you just understand. All he did was he just basically blocked me from getting water at my dam. So these two are going to drop, and only one of them is going to get through. And that's enough to make you cry. So this is going to just cost me 1. I'm going to go ahead and take it. It never hurts to get that thing rotated. Here you can see they're producing, so now stuff is coming through. One stopped at his dam, one stopped at mine. And then this jerk, if he produces, he'll take it from mine using my conduit, because that prevents me from getting the power. Ah, we got lucky. We got lucky. Alright, so this person is dropping another water. Doesn't help us much. Alright, I can produce. And I can even do a -2, but now that I get a +3, it's going to give me +3 total. But I have 3 workers. I have nothing else to do. I'm actually going to get a +1. So we get a 3, a +1, and a +1 to get 5. Where's the other +1 coming from? I'm getting a +1 from here. That should be... That's after I produce. Where's my other +1 coming? Oh, I have a +1 here. So I got a +1 from this, a +1 from this. So that's producing 5 just from one water drop. And then I'm going to go ahead and fulfill that contract, which will give me 2 rotations. Yeah, and then I do have to pay money because I have to pay 3 coins to do this. I like this action. We're going to do it. And then after I'm done, my power should kick in. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy. And then my power will kick in and move me up 3 more. And I'm 1 short. Ah, darn it. But there's not much I can do about that. Let's see if I calculated it right. There's the 5. And then this is going to fulfill. Going to get a bunch of workers back. And then, yeah, my power is going to move me to 17. And I'm going to be 1 short. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Because I have 3 of these built for 12 points. So here's the thing to understand. I'm going to make 12 points. This is going to give me a -4 because this is where I'm located. So I'm going to get 8 points. If I was way back here, I would have gotten an 8-point penalty. Yeah, they're getting that dam up even larger. See, my ability to rely on this is dwindling, so I gotta get back to this. This is worth just as much. I just need the water to come down. And they're getting a lot of extra turns because I blew through my engineers quicker than they did. So there you go. There's 2 water going down. This guy's got his own little private playground. One getting stopped by that jerk, but one did get through. Alright, he was the worst performer this round. That's good. Look at that. We got to the top. I don't know if that's enough. And here you can see my calculation was correct. I got 8. These guys, like, see, he only made it to 11. So this bonus gave him 8 points, but he got a -4 and a -4. And always remember, these minuses don't go against your score unless you're here. Like, that's truly a negative 3 points situation. But here, it's just reducing their bonus score. And then my bonus score got reduced by 4 because I didn't make the 1 extra energy. And then I was the furthest along. He was second furthest, so he's getting 2 points. Yeah, it's all coming back to me, making sense again. This is one of those games where the rich gets richer. Although the person who produced the least gets to go first, so these jerks can grab the high production one, and they're not taking their turns yet. We're getting our automatic income, but like this guy's going to get to go first, and he has 2 water right here, and 2 water up here. He has both. He'll probably do this one because he wants to deny me of a production action, and I'll at least get some points and money from it, but he'll probably do this first. And then she has water as well, so she'll do a production, etc., etc. I'm going to grab one of those. Alright, so I was wrong. He took a tech. She produced, though, like I predicted. And her contract let her produce water. So she basically got water right back where she started. Alright, so 2 of the techs got purchased. I have a very tough choice. I want to get more contracts. Contracts give you lots of cool cash and prizes. However, I have an opportunity to get a +1 production. And this guy, remember this is neutral. He's first come, first serve. So I feel like I got to do that first. Even though I don't have a contract. And yeah, I'm going to do this one. It's going to give me 8. But remember, I'm going to get the bonus. So I'm already at 11. But that's a good move. Because it's got me income. This one, 4 victory points for every tech advance you own. That's why they're buying tech advances. I have one myself, so the only way I'm going to get that 4 points, though, is I got to get all the way up here. And there you go. He's building another level. And there's the 2 water. Yeah, they're really pouring on these dams. Alright, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that this is available. And we're going to go here. And that's going to give me another water at my dam. Okay, this is 3 money and 2. This is 2 production power. But see, I need 5. I need this to move one more time. But I'm looking at this situation. I don't think I can build another elevation. I'm maxed out here. So I'd have to build another dam first, which would get me 3 money. The problem with building a dam is it takes up 5 of these. I'm looking at this situation. That's a 4 energy one. I can steal water from him, suck it over to me, and then it goes down to this one. So I'm going to do this and use our special tech. That's going to give me 8 money to boot. But it's going to take up all my workers. 8 of them, in fact. But it is going to unlock this. So now I'm getting 3 money and 2 points at the start of every round. Now, there's only one more round left, but it's still nice. And you get it right away, like I said. So you saw it, they gave me 3 money and 2 points right now. It's a tight game right now, so that extra 2 points might matter. And I'm swimming in money at the moment. And so there you go. He did his production, like we predicted. And then this one's going to be in a pickle, because I'm stealing from her. Yeah, she went after contracts, so... I have 8 engineers left. I can still produce a powerhouse for production 2. And I think I want to do that. Again, it almost doesn't matter where the powerhouse actually goes. I'm looking for opportunities to pull to this. So I guess that's the next best place. It's going to take up all my stuff. I'm fine with that. I'm doing it for the +2 production bonus. And that means +3 net. That's cumulative. It's not replace. And I have 6 workers. They took the best one. That stinks. I still don't have any contracts, which hurts. I could try to grab a contract for 1 worker, but see, it costs 3 workers and 3 more to run production twice. I want to steal from here, and then I want to run this one. That's 2 production actions. That's 6 workers. If I spend a worker over here to get a contract, that's great. That lets me place a dam, obviously in certain zones, but I can still build a dam for free. All that stuff. I probably should have maybe grabbed this one, because that lets me place a powerhouse instead of actually paying. Because that cost me 2 workers. I could have spent 1 worker here, gotten this, and then did a production. There was a better way to do it. I wasn't paying attention. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and do the lower one. I don't want to do the 2. I want to do... Okay, why can't I do this? Oh, that's right. I can't steal from him. I need a dam here to steal that water from him. So this is the only one I can do. Okay, that changes things. I can afford to get a contract then. The problem is the dam up here is a mountain dam. So I'd be able to place a level 2 conduit. Oh, they took it. For 1 freaking production. Jerk. Alright, well, I guess I'm going to have to get 1 less production out of the deal. So I get a 0 there, but I do get a 3 there for 9. We're going to go ahead and do the contract. And then I'm going to get a net of 12. So it got me to 20. I'm 1 short again. Oh my goodness. 1 short. If I would have done this action first, I would have gotten 2 energy. Well, I do have 1. can do a -2. That gave me 4. That gave me 3 more. So I'm going to get $8. I'm going to get 4 points. But the bigger thing is if I'm the furthest, I'm going to get 6 more points here. So that'll be 10 points total. Yeah, I'm definitely figuring it out now. I'm nailing it, the predictions here. Final round. So they're grabbing a tech. That guy grabbed a contract. That guy grabbed a tech. They're going after everything. So with this one, I get 5 victory points for each powerhouse I've built. I've built all of them. So I want to gung-ho the energy. My challenge is I have 0. So I'm in a pickle. This is where this thing would have worked better, right? But all is not lost. I can... well, that doesn't help me. Or in the final round... Let me make sure. In the final round, I think that actually drops. They will only flow down during the water flow phase. See page 19. Yeah, it's not going to help me. Now, it does... You do get a point for every water that's in your dam. So if I put 2 water up here, it doesn't help me now, but at the water flow phase, at the end of the round, it'll trickle down, and whatever water is down here at that time will get me a point. But I don't want that. I can at least do this, though. Look at that. They built a dam to prevent my water from getting down to here. Huh. I'm not going to get energy production at all. And look at this. This guy built a conduit so he can steal. That costs 8. That's right. That's not my dam. You know why they built those? Because I put the powerhouse here, and so they built the dam to prevent me from excavating. I mean, obviously, if I build another conduit, I get 7 points. I just need 2. You know what? I'm going to do this. We're going to take it from here. At least get off the schneid. If I think I can get these big contracts, I can try to grab those by doing this. I need a situation like this, or even better, with a higher value, conduit. Um, these three value conduits are usually not enough. I mean, because my bonus 3 is after. So these contracts, I would have to produce 14 using the plus 2 here. Like, there's a lot of things I gotta have line up. A lot of stars that need to line up for me. See, and he's just making it so he can get points at the end. So you can see that. I could do this to make another one drop, but because of this jerk, it's not even going to get to me. So I'm looking at the situation. Somebody took the ones there. I can't take those ones. I can drop another water, but it's just going to stop here. And that doesn't do me any good. I mean, if I build another dam, I just get 3 more money, which... it's the conduit. I need another conduit. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. That just got me 7 points. Which is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, we're playing a pretty tight game here. Yeah, I don't have enough to do a dam up there. If I did, I could drop a water and then move it over to this one. This guy's waiting. He's got 3 water droplets he can bring down. I technically have 1. So that 1 will get me 3 points, or 3 energy. This is 3 more energy for 6. So I could get to 18 and then get a bonus 3 to 21. So I'll get a minus 4 penalty, but I'll still do pretty well. I get 4 additional stored energy? Oh my goodness, that's really good. I need a dam. I put all my... Oh no. How do I build a dam? These dams are too expensive. That one needs 3 excavators, so I could do this. Yeah, I'll do that. No. He's gonna steal the 1 water I have. I was hoping to build the elevations before I ran this, but now that he did this, I have to do this. Oh, you know what? He wasn't able to steal it. He can't take from mine. Oh man, it was a dumb move on my part. It's alright. I didn't have enough to build the elevations anyways. See, look, I'm out. No harm, no foul there. Right, I at least got 2 points because of his shenanigans. I mean, we got the 6 points for being first. That's big. We got 20 points because we built all the powerhouses. We got a -4 and I guess a -8 because I needed to get out of this zone. I thought that by getting into the zone, I canceled that one. I might have been wrong, looks like. So I got a -8, so I still got 12 for a total of 18. That's going to win the game for me, I think. There's not a lot of endgame scoring in this game. I might get something for all the money I have. Oh yeah, there's this. Okay, so this gobbledygook here. Count all the basins where you have built at least one structure of any type. The maximum is 12. So what that means is I have like 1 basin, 2 basin, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I should have 8, and there it is. 8 points for me. So this guy had 8, and this one had 15. That explains why he was building everywhere. So pink just has crap in every spot. So the reason he did this was to get the 15 points. Right? And so then additional endgame scores. This is a combo of your excavators and whatnot and your money, which I had 46 of. So I got 10 points, which probably is a divide by 5. I wish it would tell me. And then this is water at your dams. So he had 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 points. I had no water at my dam. And we can look it up real quick. So very end game. 1 point for every water drop. Add the resources. 1 victory point for every 5 items of any type. If it's on the construction wheel, they're not counted. Interesting. So I had 46 plus 6, which is 52, divided by 5. That makes sense. I got 10 points. That 10 points was a lot. I mean, you look at what everybody else is getting. I mean, he's getting 6 total. I mean, I creamed everybody there. I mean, he creamed me here, but he's low. Go ahead and hit next, and they're giving out the points. So he's finishing at 62. I mean, I'm all the way up to 85, 93. Yeah, I did well. Yeah. I played this twice before I hit record. And here you go. See, that I just got the achievement. I've never won before. So I'm sitting here like all sweating and, trying to explain stuff. It's a great game. It's even better when the AI plays like a real player. I can't stress that enough. And that's the reason why I like apps so much. I give a lot of credit to those guys who come up with the solo Automa stuff. Because the Automa emulates a player, but it just cheats. And it blocks actions, and it does things, and it makes no rhyme or reason. Not a fan of it. Definitely not a fan of the Barrage Automa. Whoever designed it put a lot of work into it. I'm not trying to poo-poo that part of it, but this is just so satisfying. This is on Steam. Obviously, if you have other people to play with, you can play on Board Game Arena. Buying your own copy is great because there's actual other maps you can get. And anyways, I can't stress enough that was a very satisfying win to be able to pull that off. I actually was frustrated while playing this. I felt like I was not accomplishing some of the things I wanted to do, but the way we won this is we cleared our board. We built all of our buildings, even if those buildings never actually did anything. That's the thing I want to stress. Producing energy is something you do in the game, but it doesn't mean that that's the way you win. Now, this extra +3 energy, once I unlocked it, was very, very helpful. And, producing energy, you only needed to do it a few times to get to at least here. Now, that one time we made it to here, I produced energy in a lot of places. But ideally, this person should have won. Because you want a situation where you have your own lane with your own dam, and you're doing it all. And as you saw, the dams that were at the bottom of the map, like mine, they were being interfered with by the dams at the top of the map. So those top of the maps, I wish they would let me see the final situation. The dams at the top of the maps, they're pristine. Nobody can screw with you up there. So if you can build a dam at the top of the map and then actually produce energy from there, no one can mess with you. The water goes to you first. And that's the thing to understand with this game. Producing the energy at the bottom of the map, it's cool, it's cheaper, it's early game, but the top of the map is where it's at. Anyways, that was very satisfying, and a lot of things do, yeah, and it always crashes. Oh my goodness. Horrible game, crashing like that. But that's alright. We finished it. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome.